And if you could, let's talk about the bubble wrap theory. It's about a 3 to 5 minute discussion. And it really, I to me, it was a pivotal moment because a lot of these things look different. The ones I've always struggled with is the ones that appear to have a circular device or a shield around them, and it was described by your physicists.
Yeah. So over the years, there's been a lot of flight performance characteristics that have been observed when people see UAP. They see them doing these performance characteristics that defy physics as we know it, right? And a couple of the very senior scientists that I interviewed who worked on classified UAP programs for the U.S. government, they reveal in the film that they have figured out how this technology works, how these UAP are doing what they're doing. And simply put, these craft are generating a significant amount of energy and they're essentially warping space-time, which sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. I understand that.
Right.
But they are saying what these scientists reveal is that they are warping space-time in a localized area and they're creating a bubble around the craft. And essentially, the simplest way to say it is that bubble creates a barrier between the environment the craft is in and our environment. So
Yes.
the laws that, define what you can do, what physics allows you to do in our environment are no longer applicable, right? So what happens in that bubble is completely different than what happens outside the bubble. So they might be moving along, having a Sunday stroll, like a leisurely flight, right? And to us, it looks like they're going at these impossible speeds. It explains everything. It explains why transmedium travel is observed. We see these craft going from space to the air to the ocean seamlessly through these separate environments, which is not something our aircraft can do. But once you understand that they're in their own space-time environment, they're within this bubble, then it makes sense because the bubble and everything in it is not impacted by the environment around it. It also explains why we've had so much trouble getting these things on radar, because the way radar works is a radar emitter shoots radar at an object and then it bounces back to the radar emitter, and that's how you figure out where the thing is, right? But in this case, the radar is just bouncing around the bubble and continuing on, right? It also explains, the answer to the age-old question of why is it so hard to get a good photo or video of a UFO? The simple answer is because we're taking photos and videos through a space-time barrier, through this bubble. It's the equivalent of trying to take pictures of fish under the ocean from above the ocean. You can't do it, right? No one would ever be like, hey, I'm trying to take a picture of these fish in this koi pond and it looks all blurry. Why is that happening? You'd be like, well, moron, you're taking a picture from above the water to
Right.
something in the water, right? And it's the same thing here. Like, you can't get a good picture of these things because we're trying to take photos through a space-time barrier, through this bubble that's been created. And this warp bubble is the key to that technology. And what's also extraordinary about it is, as these scientists say, this technology, this ability to generate this immense amount of energy in a localized area and create this warp bubble, it is in their opinion, the key to interstellar travel.